friends, and welcome back to the Stronger Than Autoimmune podcast from Boardroom to Breakroom Edition. I'm Desiree, and let's get started on something that I was thinking about. Remember texting on a flip phone and you had to press the number 7 4 times just to get the letter S? And we thought we were communication pros. Well, that is how much most people understand about autoimmune conditions. They know the basics, but still missing 95% of the actual story. It is now known 22 million people are affected with autoimmune conditions. That is 1 in 10 individuals. Men and women are affected, mostly women. So, whether you realize it or not, someone in your workplace, family, or friend is dealing with this every single day. So, today we're going to be flipping the script. We're going to be busting myths, talking about what it actually means to support someone, and give practical ways you can support yourself and the people around you. Because invisible conditions need visible support. So let's dive in. Let's clear up some major misconceptions. Myth busting. Myth bust number 1. But you look fine. This is the most harmful thing anyone with autoimmune disease can hear. Here's the reality. Most autoimmune conditions and most symptoms are invisible. Fatigue, brain fog, joint pain, digestive issues. They don't show up in a photo or a Zoom call. Think of it like Wi-Fi. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it's doing a ton of work in the background. So someone might look perfectly all together on the outside, but on the inside, their immune system is really working hard on the inside. So if this happens to you at work, try this response. I appreciate the compliments, but autoimmune conditions are mostly invisible. I am managing, but most days are definitely harder than others. So keep it short, keep it factual, and move the conversation forward. You don't owe anyone your medical history. Myth number 2. Just exercise more and you'll feel better. My favorite is the yoga one. Let's do yoga. Well, movement, as we've talked about on this podcast, movement is important. But people don't understand that for someone with autoimmune disease, a workout looks a lot different and it could trigger a flare that lasts for days or weeks. So it's not about being lazy or out of shape. It's just our immune system is on overdrive. Telling someone with lupus or rheumatoid arthritis just to push through is like telling someone with a broken leg to run a marathon. The body needs strategic, gentle movement for that particular person. And whether you want to move forward with a different type of movement, you can do that. We just have a different way of working out. And every one of us that has an autoimmune condition is just a little bit different. Your workplace response could be, I actually do a lot of movement. And I have to be strategic. My doctor, my coach, we have a plan that works for my specific body. So what I like about this response is this sets a boundary while showing you're proactive about your health. And honestly, you don't need to justify your exercise routine to coworkers. Myth number 3. It's all in your head. You're just stressed. That one gets to me too. Let's be clear. Autoimmune diseases are real, diagnosable medical conditions. Yes, stress can trigger flares, but stress didn't cause the disease. These are conditions where the immune system malfunctions and attacks healthy tissue, organs, joints, skin, you name it. If somebody just says it is stress and deal with it, in a very manageable way. Here is how to handle it at work or outside of work. Yeah, stress can affect symptoms, but I have been diagnosed with a medical condition and I'm working with my healthcare team to manage it. Then redirect. What I really need is XYZ. Shift from defending yourself to stating what you need. We talked about some things that people say to us. We practically hear it almost every day. Those are some responses you can try and let me know. Let me know if it works for you, if it comes natural. Obviously, find your own way of stating things, but hopefully that gives you a launching point on how to deal with people that just don't understand. Okay, so why does this matter? Why am I bringing up autoimmune awareness, not only for the people that have autoimmune disease, but how does this affect people in the workplace? We talked about those myths. Why is it important to talk about how autoimmune awareness isn't just about autoimmune patients? It affects everyone in the workplace. How does it help everybody? Well, it puts better policies in place. When companies can create flexibility for autoimmune employees, such as remote work, flexible hours, quiet spaces, guess what? It actually helps everybody: parents, caregivers, people managing mental health. So, why not? Another thing is productivity isn't just about FaceTime. That's an old school mentality. Whoever is at their desk the longest, works the hardest, is no more, is dead. When we measure results instead of getting hours logged, everyone wins. Autoimmune employees bring incredible efficiency because they have to be strategic about their energy. Another thing that helps is diversity includes chronic illness. We talk about diversity in terms of race, gender, background, but about 26% of adults in the US live with a disability. That's including autoimmune conditions. If your workplace diversity initiatives don't include chronic illness, you're missing a huge part, a quarter of the population. Innovation comes from different perspectives. People who had to problem solve their way through chronic illness, they're good at creative thinking, resilience, adaptability. That's gold in any workplace. So supporting autoimmune employees isn't charity, it's smart business based on what we just mentioned: different perspectives, innovation, diversity, productivity. Now let's talk about the signs that your workplace, your work culture needs an upgrade. People brag about never taking sick days. That's not dedication. That's a toxic productivity culture. Another one is there's gossip when someone leaves early or works remotely. If flexibility is met with suspicion, that's a problem. HR views accommodation as special treatment. Accommodations level the playing field so they don't create unfair advantages. Another one is zero awareness training. If your company does diversity training but ignores chronic illness, you're missing a huge part of your workforce, just like we mentioned. So the good news is these are all fixable. Awareness is the first step. All right, let's talk about action steps. Remember, I'm all about action. So if you're living with an autoimmune condition, I want you to write one accommodation you need at work and practice saying it out loud. I'm serious about practicing. Stand in front of the mirror, get help from your partner or best friend, record it on your phone, get comfortable saying the words. It might sound something like this: I need to work from home on Wednesdays for medical appointments, or I need flexibility to start between 9 and 10 a.m. depending on how I'm feeling. Then identify who you need to talk to. Is it your direct manager, HR, both? Make a plan to have that conversation this week or next week. Now, if you are a manager, HR professional, or leader, I want you to do a quick audit. These are 3 questions you can ask yourself to do a workplace culture audit this week. Do we have written policies about flexible work and accommodations? Number 2, when was the last time we did awareness training that included chronic illness? If the answer is never or I don't remember, that is your sign. Number 3, have I checked in with my team about what they need without waiting for them to ask? Create space for those conversations. Make it safe to speak up. So take note of your answers and pick one you want to improve on this month. And if you need help, go ahead and contact me. I'm available. Because invisible conditions need visible support, that starts with each one of us. And a quick reminder, every first Saturday of the month, we have a Stronger Through Art free circle. It is a safe space to connect, create, and process what you're going through with other people who get it. No art experience needed. Check the show notes for the date and registration link. And next week, we're diving into energy management strategies that actually work, not just drink more water advice, science-based tools for managing fatigue, energy, and still showing up for your life and career. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode resonated, share it with someone you know who needs to hear it so they could be a better ally. Remember, invisible conditions need visible support. I'll see you next Monday. Until then, stay stronger than autoimmune.